The Galactic Council chamber had witnessed thousands of species, millions of treaties and countless confrontations, but nothing unsettled them more than the humans. Not their technology, not their politics, not even their unpredictable survival instincts. What truly disturbed the counselors was simple. Human diplomatic guards always arrived unarmed. To the rest of the galaxy, it was madness. A guard without a weapon was not a guard, it was bait. For decades, the Council assumed it was arrogance. Or naivety. Or maybe some human cultural quirk no one understood, but they were wrong. They discovered the truth only when it was far too late. 1. The arrival of the Unarmed on the day of the Trinaxis summit. 2 human guards followed Ambassador Rivera into the chamber. Their uniforms were plain, shoulders unadorned, belts empty. No blades, no plasma sidearms? Not even shock gloves, just humanity. Counselor Rex, scaled and towering, hissed in disapproval. "Ambassador Rivera," he rasped, "your guards carry no weapons, again." Rivera smiled politely. Humans had perfected the art of weaponizing politeness. "Correct, Counselor." "This is a high-risk summit," Rex insisted. "Every species here expects hostility. Even the Furin brought pulse cannons hidden in their fur." "Yes," Rivera agreed calmly. "And we brought humans." A ripple moved through the chamber. Confusion, frustration, fear. The humans themselves stood silently, hands clasped behind their backs, faces unreadable. Their heartbeats were steady, breaths controlled. Predatory calm radiated from them like a gravitational field, and still, no one understood. Not yet. 2. Whisper of a threat. The summit proceeded tense, fragile, on the verge of collapse. The Trinaxis Empire accused the Kelvari of sabotage. The Furin threatened to withdraw. The Ulash delegation prepared defensive postures, mandibles clacking nervously. Amid this tension, something else slipped in. An assassin. The Council's security grid never detected him. The anti-teleportation field didn't even flicker. The kinetic dampeners remained silent, a perfect infiltration. The assassin emerged behind Counselor Vrex, a shimmering distortion holding a monofilament blade. The first species to notice wasn't Vrex's own. It wasn't the paranoid Kelvari. It wasn't the technologically superior Far YN. It was the human guard on Rivera's left corporal slate. He didn't shout. He didn't draw a weapon. He didn't even move at first. His eyes simply narrowed, and then he charged, a blur of motion, a roar of exertion, a sound like a meteor breaking atmosphere. He crossed the chamber in less than a heartbeat. The assassin's blade met his forearm, cutting deep, but Slate didn't slow. He wrapped the assassin in a crushing tackle and slammed him into the stone floor with enough force to shatter the tiles. Gasps echoed throughout the council chamber. "Weaponless combat?" A Kelvari diplomat stammered. "Impossible," hissed a foreign warrior, but it wasn't impossible. It was human. 3. The second guard reveals the truth. The assassin recovered faster than anyone expected, phasing through Slate's grip. Blade humming, the second human guard, Lieutenant Mara Vance, stepped forward. No weapon. No armor. Just a soft exhale. The assassin lunged. She caught his wrist. Mid-dash strike. Her movements were small, deceptively gentle, yet devastating. A twist. A pivot. A precise blow to a nerve cluster. The assassin collapsed, writhing. Around her, dozens of armed soldiers from half a dozen species flinched. None of them could have stopped the assassin without kinetic deflectors or plasma rifles, but the human had done it with her bare hands. A stunned silence settled over the chamber. Counselor Vrex stared at the blood on the floor. "You fight like predators," he whispered. "Without hesitation. Without fear. Why? Why do your guards come unarmed?" Ambassador Rivera inhaled slowly. This was the moment she had hoped to avoid, but secrets especially. Human secrets rarely remained hidden forever. 4. The truth humanity hid. Rivera stepped forward, voice quiet but unwavering. "Because a human's greatest weapon is not something we carry." She glanced at Slate. Still bleeding, still standing tall. "It's something we are." Confusion rippled again. But Rivera continued. "When humanity joined the council, Your analysts studied our nuclear history, our wars, our evolution. But you misunderstood our greatest adaptation. She looked around the chamber. Meeting every alien eye, humans evolved not to wield weapons but to become them. She raised one finger, adrenaline bursts that multiply strength. A brain that calculates angles, trajectories, force, pain resistance beyond most species' limits, a predator's forward-facing focus. And this, she placed a hand over her heart. A psychological switch triggered only when someone we protect is threatened. A Calvari diplomat shivered. You mean instinct? No, Rivera corrected softly. Programming. Hard-coded by evolution. When danger appears, a human transforms psychologically, chemically, physiologically into a weapon more adaptable and more dangerous than any plasma rifle. She nodded at the two guards. They trained not to fight with weapons, but to fight as weapons. The chamber felt colder. 5. The council's mistake counselor Rex swallowed hard. All these years, he whispered. We believed your unarmed guards were a sign of humility. Or arrogance, added a foreign warrior. Rivera shook her head. No, it was a warning. A collective chill spread, a warning you never understood. Behind her, Slate finally sat. Blood still dripping, but eyes still alert, watching every movement in the chamber. Lieutenant Vance stood over the unconscious assassin. Posture relaxed, yet unmistakably lethal. And suddenly, every species in the chamber realized this was restraint. This was control. This was humanity holding back, and they had never noticed. 6. The Council too late. Security teams rushed in. Medics tended to Slate. The assassin was restrained. The crisis ended, but the counselors remained frozen. They finally understood why. Humans never carried weapons, because if a human drew a weapon, the threat level had already risen beyond control. Unarmed meant safe. Armed meant apocalypse, and humanity had never arrived armed. Yet. Counselor Rex bowed his massive head. Ambassador Rivera, we misjudged your people, gravely. Rivera's smile was faint. Almost sad. Most species do. The council chamber, home of peace, diplomacy, an ancient order, felt suddenly very small, very fragile, very unprepared for what humanity truly was. 7. Final lesson as the session adjourned. Counselors whispered anxiously. One Calvari diplomat murmured, Imagine what humans are capable of. If they ever come armed? Rivera paused before leaving the chamber. Her voice echoed, soft but unmistakable. Pray you never find out. And for the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council understood fear not of war, not of power, but of potential. Human potential, the kind that required no weapon to reshape the galaxy. The kind they discovered far too late.